In previous decades, we saw the growth of our neighbors' vibrant economies. Sometimes, as Filipinos, we feel that it's almost impossible to catch up. How did they even do it? Is there a magic formula to their success? Their experiences tell us that it's no magic at all. Their success is all about making sound financing and policy decisions that drive what we call the demographic dividend. What is the demographic dividend? Let's find out. Here's Annie. She used to be a freelance English teacher to Korean students in Manila, but the pandemic forced her students back to their country. She now tries to earn by selling her baked goods online. Annie has a daughter. As a young mother, Annie's situation is still much better than her mother who had to skip grade school. Annie is not alone. Thousands of other young people face similar concerns. For them, life could be better. Imagine a world where Annie, her family, and others could have succeeded more in life. This is possible if the country gets to reap the opportunities of a reshaping demographic trend. The demographic dividend is the promise of accelerated growth that comes when the potential of working-age individuals is realized. With more able workers getting decent jobs and fewer dependents to support, a country inches closer to progress. This magic formula doesn't just happen overnight. In fact, it is not magic at all. Strategic financing and partnerships are key to achieving the ideal demographic transition and maximizing it. The strategic part entails collectively closing gaps in specific SDG targets on health, education, decent labor, and gender equality. We focus on these while also nursing the country's recovery from COVID-19. The good thing is, a blueprint is already being developed to achieve this. The joint program on INFF puts together the existing building blocks of the integrated national financing framework in the Philippines into one single roadmap for achieving the SDGs, especially those that directly relate to the demographic dividend. Together with various partners, the joint program on INFF is building a strong evidence base and investment case for achieving the demographic dividend through its initiatives. These include an analysis of the best policy and financing scenario to yield the dividend, an initiative to put a cost to national efforts for reducing teenage pregnancies, and a study on COVID-19's impact on the well-being of children as future drivers of development. These reports indicated what we need to consider as factors in maximizing the benefits of a younger skewing demographic. Policies must ensure resources for preventing teenage pregnancies and promoting better reproductive choices for the youth in the future. For Annie and other young mothers, had they been a bit older when they had children, they would have had a head start in pursuing their dreams. And in turn, they would contribute even more to the economy. Quality education hones individuals to acquire knowledge and skills to get them hired or start their own business. Education is the first step to break away from poverty. Annie knows this, and she worries about saving enough for her daughter's schooling. She and her daughter need all the help they can get in obtaining quality education. Through its studies, the joint program on INFF also acknowledges the need for partners. Building relationships means synergizing resources and policies to create jobs and generate revenue. More jobs or businesses should account for Annie and for her skills, as well as other young people's capabilities. And these opportunities should be available to them regardless of gender. Gender equality can make a difference in the quality of women's lives and the country's economic trajectory overall. Even as a single mother, Annie is already a productive citizen. If only she and the other young women are empowered to land jobs as fast as their male counterparts, then they will surely contribute to building a stronger economy. Besides investing in targeted social development outcomes, what would also steer the country toward the demographic dividend are economic policies, such as reinvesting GDP growth in the welfare of Annie, as well as other working-age males and females, introducing inclusive finance services to those who have yet to open a bank account, and attracting trade investments that create more jobs. But let's face it, the task of yielding the dividends seems daunting because of the pandemic and inflation, as well as the shrinking fiscal space for public priorities. Only by working together, we, as partners, can rise up to this challenge. Leveraging the I in INFF is key. Our integrated approach can bring the broadest possible coalition that will mobilize financing for critical SDGs. Still, there is a good chance for Annie and the rest of our youth to prosper and drive the next phase of our progress. When all hands are on deck, the country is assured of a future where everyone lives healthy, empowered, and prosperous lives. A future where no Filipino is left behind. This is the Joint SDG Fund on the Philippines Integrated National Financing Framework, a joint program on reaping the demographic dividend and managing the socio-economic impact of COVID-19 by applying an integrated national financing framework in the Philippines.